Hello, welcome to anyone new, welcome back, old friends. In a different spot today, another elephant. I've got a bit of a thing for elephants, as you can probably guess. Normally I'm over there, today I'm over here. I'm Rachel, and this is your Wise Crone Tarot reading. Thank you for joining me. Normally we do a few cards, maybe some symbol work, maybe an oracle card, and let those guide us into a short meditation, and we just see what comes up from spirit and go along for the journey, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I am using a different deck today. I haven't used this one in a long time. Wildwood Tarot, and it's one I tend to forget about, sort of the Rider-Waite meanings with your cups and your pentacles and swords and wands and all of that, and really rely intuitively on the images that come through. So that will be interesting. I was kind of umming and ahhing, there's our first card, umming and ahhing about doing this video today. We're at the tail end, so today is the 12th of February, and very much at the very tail end of the year of the snake. So I don't know how you're going with that. Let me know in the comments what's been going on, if anything, that you may or may not have noticed. Certainly for me and other people that I've spoken with, we're kind of feeling restless, feeling a little bit more, let me speak for myself, feeling kind of irritable and just not quite grounded. So I feel like, you know, in these final days, really, so Year of the Fire Horse will start on 17th of Feb. And yeah, in these last few days leading up to it, I really feel like we're just kind of pushing through whatever needs to be released with that tail of the snake. And that's how I feel. And others have shared that they're feeling a little bit the same. So I thought, why not do a reading around that? Just anything else maybe that we need to release before we welcome in the beautiful fire horse. And let's get started. So the first card that we have out is the Queen of Arrows, which would traditionally be the Queen of Swords. I did say I wasn't going to go to the Rider-Waite, but okay, so let me look at this. We have a swan, holding it up for you again. And the waters look kind of murky, and she almost looks like she's swimming against the flow of the water, which is interesting. Traditionally, the Queen of Swords is very much about intellect and about, you know, focus and clarity, and really being at the top of your game in terms of communication and knowing what you want, and being of clear mind. So it looks, I'm getting from this card a sense of go your own way, keep pushing ahead, don't be afraid to swim against the current. She also, I'm calling her a she, her wings are quite fluffed out. So she's not afraid. I'm getting, don't be afraid to take up space. Yeah. So you do it your way. You don't have to follow the crowd. Don't be afraid to be all of who you are and to own your space that you take up. So we'll see when we get the other cards how that might tie together with this little bit of snake that we've got left going on. Do let me know how you've been going. I'm really keen to find out if others are feeling what I've been feeling. Second card out, Two of Bows, which would be Two of Wands, lots of fiery energy. Yeah, lots of what's the direction to go into. Traditionally, you know, can mean a duality, maybe options, two choices, trying to decide. In this image, we have the two fire wands, and we have, he almost looks like a Viking sort of energy to me, standing in between two wands and on what appears to be sort of a bed of cloud with all of this intense energy and the night sky behind him. So let me just see what I can pick up from that. He also has the fire behind him. Let me show you again. I hope that's focusing. Has the fire behind him. And the fire coming behind his head, if I'm tying that in again with our beautiful swan, which is about knowing yourself, knowing the direction that you want to go in, I feel like this is telling us that we know what to do. We have the power. Fire is very, very powerful. We have the power within us to choose right for us. So if you have been umming and ahhing about, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? This is very much standing grounded and trusting yourself and making a decision. So take the action, yeah? Take the action, back yourself. If you're not following the crowd, do it. Do you. Okay, well, this one was just sort of all by its lonesome, and I said, well, I didn't say, but I heard, take it. And this will be our third card from this deck, and the last one that I'll choose from this deck does look a bit like a snake, doesn't it? The card is the Knight of Vessels, which is the Knight of Cups. So someone coming to you right away again with an offer of love or an offer of something that would make you happy. It's kind of a lighter energy, but there's definitely a joy in it. And again, we're in the water. So let me look at the symbols on the card. We're in the water, and backlit is the light coming down on the water. And the light is actually connecting, if you can see that, pardon me, with the tail. This is an eel, but very much could represent like a water snake as well. So the light is just on the tip of the tail, which is exactly what we're talking about, right? Is at this stage, we're very much consumed by the energy of the tail of the snake. What else do we need to release into the light? What else do we need to let go of before we move into that really powerful, fiery energy of the horse, the strength of the horse, the doing, the taking action? There's something there to release into the light, and you know what that is. So reflect on that, make a decision, and whatever you don't choose, I would say to let that go. Let it go before we get to the horse year on the 17th of February. So I'm going to go now to get some other messages to Animal Dreaming, which I thought is pretty good considering we're talking about snakes and horses and, you know, Chinese zodiac signs. Funny thing is, well, it's not so funny really. I have this outrageous dress. You know when the big puffy sleeves were all the rage probably a couple of years ago? Anyway, I have one of those, and it kind of has, I don't wear it. I think I've worn it like once. It's one of those purchases. But it has a snake print pattern on it, and so I thought, I was kind of, looking through the wardrobe, what will I wear? And I thought, oh, okay, if I'm going to talk about you know, the final letting go of the tail of the snake, maybe I'll wear this snake dress. And so put it on, and yeah, no, just no, just a big no to that. So let's get some messages from our beautiful animals here. 1 or 2 cards, please, my darling spirits and angels. Thank you for your messages today. Okay, okay. We do have 2. I'm going to just take the first one. Again, we have another reptile. So I don't know, is the eel a fish? Is that even an eel? I don't know. I think the eel might be a fish. I don't think the eel's a reptile. You will let me know though. I'm damn certain of that. So I'm pretty confident that the lizard is a reptile, like the snake. So we have lizard, and the message of the lizard is daydreaming. So let's just pop that down there. I feel like that connects with the energy of not doing and not making the decision. In fact, where I placed it on my table, I placed it directly below that 2 of bows, which was about making a decision and making it with conviction and trust and absolute knowing. So maybe there are some people out there that have been avoiding making a decision, feeling a little bit lost in the fantasy of what could be, so much so that they're not taking the action. They're not taking the action to actually move as this beautiful swan is. Maybe there's some fear involved if you're going against the grain, against the norm, against others' expectations, and perhaps getting a little bit stuck in the what ifs. And, you know, reptiles, if we look at it from a psychology and nervous system perspective, we call the back of our brain the reptilian brain, and it's very much associated with survival. So when I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a lizard and it's talking about daydreaming, I'm getting a sense of what I spoke about in the beginning, which is kind of this stuckness, you know, this stuckness of not doing. So I feel like this is just a confirmation for us to actually go ahead and take that action, move towards what we want for us, regardless of how others may perceive that or approve or not approve of that. All right, my loves, 1 card here, and this deck is called, it's an oracle deck, Elemental Oracle. I chose that because in my mind it's related to nature symbols, so could be right, could be wrong, who knows, but that's what we're going with. It's quite pretty. It's got the foil edge. I like it. I like it. Thank you for these messages today, and thank you so much for watching. And I want to keep doing this, and I need subscribers if I'm going to keep doing this. And I mean, absolutely no pressure. If you think I'm a rambling dickhead, then I'd encourage you not to subscribe. If you think that, you know, hey, maybe this wise crone, maybe she's a bit all right, then please do subscribe and like. Bushfires. Okay. Kangaroo bushfires. So what I'm getting from this is the shedding and the clearing, which has been the whole theme throughout this tale of the snake. The shedding and the clearing so that things can regenerate and come new, almost like a phoenix rising from the ashes is the energy that I'm getting from that. And it ties in perfectly with what we're talking about. Sorry if that's really loud on my mic. I rewatched a video and I realized when I dive in for a symbol, it's kind of a bit yuck for the ears. go with what I first drew out, even though I was tempted to pop it back in. It's actually a telephone. So about communication and bringing it all together, I would tie this in such a way as, how are you not expressing who you are or what you want? What's holding you back? What needs to change in order for you to let go of all of those limitations, all of the things that, you know, perhaps aren't serving you anymore, so that you can move like the beautiful swan in the direction that's just right for you, regardless of what anyone else is doing, with that amazing, powerful fire energy. Release what you don't need into the light. Express who you are with power, with fire, and do it your way. Do it your way. Don't be afraid to go against the stream, the current, the norm, what's expected. Okay, my darlings, thank you so much. I hope that there was something in that for you, and I will see you next time. Mwah.